Hey guys, P-Child here, coming to you with Challenge Rift week number 35, February 19th through February 25th. This is a special Challenge Rift. This week is the start of Season 13, and if you didn't know, you can do the Challenge Rift after creating your seasonal character and then log on to that fresh seasonal character and collect those bounty mats. The reason that's big is it allows you to upgrade your blacksmith and to craft things that you normally wouldn't be able to craft until you're at level 61 or higher. So definitely save this week's Challenge Rift until after you create your seasonal character if you plan on playing seasons. And with that, let's get in here and see how to complete this Challenge Rift. Alright guys, as soon as you step in, we can click on the soul mirror. Let's check out and see what equipment we have on. We are using 4-piece Accurat's Champion, or the Icon armor, and the 2-set reduces the cost of all abilities by 50% while Accurat's Champion is active, and then the 4-piece is reduce the cooldown of Accurat's Champion by 50%. You do not have the 6-piece, which gives us damage reduction, which is usually pretty nice, but we don't have it. We have 1 piece of Rollins on. That really doesn't do us anything. We have Gladiator Gauntlets, not a big deal. We have Bolcathos Wedding Band, again, not a big deal. Corrupted Ashbringer, pretty passive ability. Chance on kill to raise a skeleton to fight for you. Upon accumulating 5 skeletons, they explode for 1000% weapon damage and transform into Ashbringer for a short time. Ashbringer burns your enemies for 44% as holy. So that's kind of passive. You don't have to worry about it very much. So we also have on Friar's Wrath, it is the Condem Shield, and what it says is its Condem has no cooldown, its damage is increased by 618%, but instead costs 40 Wrath. So that's our Wrath spender right there. Strongarm Bracers are pretty awesome. Enemies that get knocked back suffer 24% increased damage. Any enemy that moves takes that 24% damage. So if you look at the Condem rune that they have, the Condem rune has Vacuum, and what Vacuum does is as Condem charges up, it sucks the enemies in. Sucking the enemies in counts as a knockback and increases the damage. You also have the S of Joan, which pulls enemies toward your target, so everything will group up on whatever you're hitting. Again, that procs the Strongarm Bracers. The belt is pretty worthless, kind of. It's passive. Picking up a health globe increases your maximum life by 5% for 15 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. That's passive. I mean, if you see health globes, grab them, but pretty passive. Blade of Prophecy is 2 condemned enemies also trigger Condem's explosion, and the damage of Condem is increased by 800%. So again, another Condem item to stack with the shield. The Orcs Crown, it doubles the socketed effect of your gem. We have a cooldown gem in, so that's going to double it, make that 22% instead of 11. And then we have Unity. All damage is split between the wearers of this item. So if we go look at our Templar also has on a Unity, so that's basically a flat 50% damage reduction, which is good. So if we look at our skills, we have Slash with Guard. Guard gives you increased armor for each enemy hit, stacks up to 5 times. You can actually get all 5 stacks in one attack if you hit 5 enemies. So this is good to keep up. Try to keep your slash up and keep your defenses up. You have Steed Charge. You get to ride through enemies and just kill them. It actually does damage, decent damage. Laws of Valor, Unstoppable Force. When the Law's passive ability gives you 8% increased attack speed, and when you recite it or when you press the button, it gives you 15% increased attack speed and reduces the cost of all Wrath abilities by 50%. This is kind of good to use whenever your Accurat's Champion is down, because it will reduce the cost of Wrath and you won't run out of Wrath if you're having Wrath issues. It's also good to pop that on elites when you need to burst something down, like the Rift Guardians. Condem with Vacuum. This is pretty straightforward. Condem just does a massive explosion after 3 seconds. This is where all your damage is coming from. It also sucks enemies in towards you. You have Provoke with Too Scared to Run. This ability is really important because what it does is every enemy you taunt gives you 5% Wrath, and they also are focused on you. So you taunt them, they attack you for 4 seconds, but you get 5 Wrath for every enemy. This is how you're going to get your Wrath back really fast. The taunt also slows down their attack speed and movement speed for 4 seconds, which will proc your Bane of the Trapped. and which should already be proc because they're close to you anyways. But and then Accurate's Champion, it increases your damage by 35%, increases your wrath generation by 5, and you gain 150% additional armor. And then for passives, you have Heavenly Strength. It allows you to wear the shield and the two-hand at the same time, so that's why you can do that. Holy, it reduces your damage by 20%. Then the next talent increases your damage by 10%, and it also heals you by 1% of your total life whenever you do holy damage. Condemn is holy damage. And then Long Arm of the Law increases your duration of your laws by 5 seconds, so that goes to your laws of Valor. It makes that last 5 seconds longer, effectively doubling it. And then Finery, for every, you get 1.5% strength for every gem you socket in your gear, so that's kind of passive. So really, most of the abilities are passive, guys. There's not a whole lot to it. Now, me personally, I don't like the way that this is set up, so I'm going to reorder the setup. Don't forget, if you don't like the way the keys are set, you can rebind them to whatever you want. I personally want Condemn on my right click, so I'm going to throw Condemn on right click. With that, we're going to go in and do it. Really, to play this build, what you really need to focus on, using your left click to slash and keep your armor up. So I'll demonstrate down here on this Punisher. Every time you slash them, it gives you a stack of armor. You can see it down here on my left click. You want to keep that up. Accurate's Champion does not have 100% uptime, so you want to try to keep it up as much as you can. That's your number 4 ability for me, because I just switched it around. You have Taunt on number 2. You can taunt the enemy, reduces his damage. Recite your law to do extra damage. Okay. And then Steed Charge lets you run through things. And then Condemn. This is your big damage dealer. So we're going to start hitting Condemn. It takes 3 seconds for it to go off, but you can see those explosions one-shotting this mob. So really, you're going to spam your Condemn the whole time. Try to keep Accurate's Champion up. Try to taunt on cooldown to taunt enemies to keep your wrath generated. Accurate's Champion and Laws of Valor to stay alive. Use your Steed Charge defensively to stay alive as well, to run out of things. So with that, here we go. Let's give it a shot. All right. So popping my cooldowns, cursing things, running in, setting off explosions, keeping my armor stacks up with my left click, smashing Condemn as much as I can. We need these explosions to kill things. There's a lot of density right here in this beginning rift, so we're actually going to try to take as much advantage of that as we can and use that density to our favor, because Condemn triggers additional condemns for every 2 enemies that are condemned next to each other. So as I condemn these enemies, they also trigger an additional condemn, and it makes it pretty awesome. Things just start flopping over and dying. So we're going to run through here, keep condemning things. See, I only have just that elite there, and that really hurts your damage if you only have one thing to kill. My Accurate's Champion is going to fall. This is going to put me in a bad position right now. Luckily, I have my Laws of Valor up, which may or may not have kept me alive. I don't know. But I lived. Using the Steed Charge to come through. Waiting for those condemns to go off. There we go. Gonna pop this power. Gonna see what we can find. I'm gonna run across here and see if there's any elites down this way. Doesn't look to be. This looks like a dead end. So when you guys are running your rift, you know not to come over this way. You can kind of ignore this. It goes north. Keep my Accurate's Champion up. Go north some more. Looks like we got some more mobs coming here. I'm gonna start charging my condemns up. Using my Steed Charge, try to gather things. Pretty well ahead of timer at this point. Got a shield pylon. We'll go ahead and take that and make this easy on ourselves. We have a set of blues right to the right of the shield pylon, so works out nicely. Alright. Try to gather as much of this trash as we can. We're going to suck it up with vacuum. We're going to attack it with our slash. Your S of Joan will also pull enemies in with that left click slash, so we're going to try to just kind of move back and forth and use our condemn to suck all this trash up. See what we can kill with it. Keep our slash up, keep our Accurate's Champion up. Like I said, this build isn't so much focused on elite hunting as it is trash killing. So this build is really focused on just slaying all this trash that we get. So here's our down. I'm gonna go ahead and kill as much of this trash as we can though. Looks like we got a good set of trash killed right there. Alright, let's go to this next level, check it out. Got a straight level. I don't know if these are called sewer levels or what. I kind of call them sewer levels, but these are not my favorite levels typically. Smashing that right click trying to get these condemns to go off. Not a lot of trash here, guys, so this is a pretty low density. Luckily we killed a lot of trash on that last level. Here's a little bit. So once that trash is dead, use your steed to kind of catch up. Groups like this where there's more density are really good. Keep pushing through. Keep running back. You can see I'm kind of backtracking just a little bit and using the condemned vacuum to suck things up to get everything kind of pulled in together. Here's a set of blues. Start getting those condemns lined up. I'm not doing a very good job of spamming my condemns. I should honestly be using condemn and the provoke taunt ability more than I am to keep my condemns rolling. That would actually speed me through the rift a little bit faster. Still again smashing the right clicks, trying to get this elite killed, getting his buddies close to him. He's dead, so I'm going to skip that other minion. We already got the orbs off of him. Looks like we got a channeling pylon. This will make keeping Accurate's champion up pretty easy. And that, we're getting really close to the Rift Guardian. I am not going to kill the Rift Guardian because again, I'm going to save this for my season 13. So, like I'm sure a lot of you guys are, I'm going to get the Rift Guardian low and then I'm going to teleport out. So this is a semi-tight timer. We've got 50 seconds with the Rift Guardian up. So we'll see. I'll beat him up a little bit for you guys, not too much. Just keeping your cooldowns up. You can see I'm slashing him with the guard, running away. Easily kill him. I mean, I got him to half. So I'm going to run away and teleport out of the rift. If he'll let me. There we go. So that's it, boys. You can see that this play is pretty simple. The big things that you have to keep in mind are try to keep your Accurate's champion on cooldown as much as you can. You want to get that 35% damage. You want to get that wrath generation. You want to get your set bonuses from the Accurate's champion, which gives you the reduction of abilities by 50%. And then you want to keep Laws of Valor on cooldown, especially if it's up and your Accurate's is dropping. I would probably put that up just because it reduces the wrath costs, so you can spam condemn more, and the attack speed will help you kill the things so you're not as vulnerable. Provoke, use provoke as much as you can. I did a really bad job of that this rift, so try to do a better job than I did. Steed charge to get groups of enemies, get through the small groups and get to the big groups. Keep your slash on cooldown. Generates your wrath for one, which you shouldn't need too much if you're using provoke, but it also gives you that armor. You want to keep those armor stacks up, and then spam condemn. Condemn is how you kill things. The slash will group things up because your S of Joan right here, and then condemn will also suck things in. So you know, keeping those stacks up and spamming condemn, things should group up. They should die. Don't rush through the first level too fast. Use that first level and kill all that trash. It had high density, so I would clear that first level as much as possible. People have been talking about season 13, and let me explain why you don't want to do this challenge rift until Friday if you're planning on doing the season. So every time you complete the challenge rift, you know that you get a cache of materials. The materials are pretty equivalent to doing a T13 full 5-act bounty run. You're going to get all the materials for that. So you're going to get your runes, your nightshade, your tapestries, your flesh, your water. You're going to get 15 of all of these. You're also going to get all of the mats here. You're going to get reusable parts, arcane dust, veiled crystals, death's breath, and forgotten souls. So why that's important is when you start the new season, you don't have anything. and you can craft weapons, but the roadblock is the Death Breath. You can't level your blacksmith to max level until you get Death Breath. Well, you can't get Death Breath until you get level 61. So being able to get those materials at level 1 allows you freedom to upgrade your blacksmith and also craft materials that you normally couldn't craft. An example is at like level 48, you could craft a level 60 weapon that has minus 12 level reduction on it and blaze through the content to level 70. So make sure that you wait, you hold off, you don't do this challenge rift until after Friday, after you've made your seasonal character, after you log in, log back out, come do the challenge rift, then you can log back in and get your bounty. I'm not promising you have to do it in that order. That's the way I'm gonna do it to be safe. I wanna make sure that my character is created and registered by Blizzard before I do the challenge rift. I wanna make sure I get those mats on the season. It's a huge advantage. So make sure you save it if you plan on playing seasons. If you're not playing seasons, go ahead and knock it out now. No point to hold it till Friday. If you have any questions, I stream 7 days a week, 9 p.m. Central Standard on the weekdays, 11 p.m. on the weekends. I usually stream 40 hours a week, so you can always catch me on. Ask me questions, I'll help you out. This build is going to be easier to run solo than it is in a group because in past experiences, the Unity ring is disabled when you do 4-player. It actually does nothing from my testing. Some people say that it splits damage among all 4 people. In my testing, it didn't do that. I'm not going to say they're wrong. I did test it. It didn't do that for me. So your mileage may vary. But come hang out. Join me on Twitch, twitch.tv/thepeachild. And I can answer any questions you have. We're going to be live when the season starts. We're going to have leveling groups going with my community. I'm going to be leveling with viewers. So come hang out or leave a comment in the video below if you have any questions, and I'll try to answer you as fast as I can. Thanks, guys.